Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's time for your morning reset with Tameeka Nelson. I am your host and your spirit, soul, and business strategist, and I am so excited to be with you this morning for this 15-minute reset. So just pause for one moment, like, share, and invite some people to be a part of this quick morning reset as we talk this morning about the gift of wisdom. The gift of wisdom. This week we're focusing on our spirit and we are talking about the gift of wisdom. And so a lot of times, I come up in church and, they talk about all the spiritual gifts. And the ones that they deem most important, of course, are the ones that are seen by people. But one of the most important gifts to me is the gift of wisdom. And I really felt compelled to share about the gift of wisdom with you this morning because as we head into this last stretch of the year, there are going to be so many things that come up that we will really need the wisdom of God for. And so we do not want to diminish that gift in comparison to or compare it to the other gifts because it is just as important and just as vital in our walks with Christ. And so this morning we really want to dive really quickly into the gift of wisdom. And y'all, it really, really is a gift when you use it. It really, really, really is a gift. And so when we talk about the gift of wisdom, the first person that we think about is, the man of wisdom himself, King Solomon, right? He was known to be one of the wisest men. The Bible says that he was greater in riches and wisdom than any other king. And so when he is the writer of the book of Proverbs. And so when you go through the Proverbs, you see so much about wisdom and the importance of wisdom and how we need our lives to be led with wisdom, right? And so one of his key verses in Proverbs 4 and 7, it says that we are to get wisdom, right? Get wisdom, and in all our getting to get understanding. Wisdom is the principal thing, y'all. Wisdom really, really is the principal thing. But the question is, how did he get wisdom and how do we get wisdom, right? The answer is so simple. It's so simple. And I know we like to complicate things, but the answer is so simple. He asked for it. He asked for it. He needed wisdom to rule well as a king, and he simply asked for it. So if we need wisdom today, all we have to do is ask for it. So what happens when we get wisdom? Let's go to Proverbs 4, 8 through 12. It says, when we get wisdom, wisdom will exalt you when you exalt her truth. She will lead you to honor and favor when you live your life by her insights. Let's read that again. She will lead you to honor. She is wisdom, will lead you to honor and favor when you live your life by her insights. Meaning, when you live your life with wisdom, you will experience honor and favor. You will be adorned with beauty and grace, and wisdom's glory will wrap itself around you, making you victorious in the race. Y'all, I need to be victorious in the race. My son, if you will take the time to stop and listen to me and embrace what I say, you will live a long and happy life full of understanding in every way. That is so rich right there because I want honor, I want favor, I want beauty, I want grace, I want to win the race. I want the glory of wisdom to wrap around me. But the only way that can happen is if I live by wisdom and live with wisdom, right? If I live with wisdom. And so we want to make sure this morning that we really, really ask the Lord. And I know it seems so simple, y'all. I know it seems so simple, but we really want to ask the Lord today for wisdom, for wisdom, because when we don't have wisdom and when we lack wisdom, the opposite happens, right? So what happens when we lack wisdom? I'm sorry, let's finish reading Proverbs 8 and 12, and then we'll go to that. It says, I have taken you by the hand in wisdom's way, pointing you to the path of integrity. Oh, this is the part I wanted to get to right here. Your progress will have no limits. When you come along with me, that's wisdom. When you come along with wisdom, your progress will have no limits and you will never stumble as you walk along the way. Y'all, what kind of promise is that? Your progress will have no limits in your spirit, in your soul, and in your business. Your progress will have no limits. But we are limited when we lack wisdom. And so we want to go to Proverbs 24, 30 through 34, right? And it says, one day I passed by the field of a lazy man, and I noticed the vineyards of a slacker. I observed nothing but thorns, weeds, and broken down walls. So I considered their lack of wisdom, and I pondered the lessons I could learn from this. He considered their lack of wisdom, and he considered their lack of wisdom just based on what he saw, the environment that he saw that they created, right? He observed nothing but thorns, weeds, and broken down walls, which means they hadn't tended to their field like they were supposed to because they were being lazy. So he considered their lack of wisdom and he pondered these lessons. And he said, professional work habits prevent poverty from becoming your permanent business partner. And if you put off until tomorrow the work you could do today, tomorrow never seems to come. So what he was saying was that this lazy man, right, his work habits were making him a companion with poverty. And when we lack wisdom, we become a companion with poverty. And not just poverty in the sense of wealth, but also a poverty mindset, right? And so we want to make sure that we do not lack wisdom, because the opposite of wisdom is folly. I can't do folly, y'all. We can't do folly. I'm looking at this lazy man, right? And I'm noticing he wasted a lot of time. I mean, if you allow thorns and weeds and broken down walls, that happens over a course of time. That wasn't just, he decided one day to be lazy. He decided for some days to be lazy, maybe some weeks, maybe even some years, right? And so we want to pay attention to that, because it's showing us that the lack of wisdom will cause us to waste time, right? Folly will rob us of our time. It will rob us of our hope. It will rob us of our dreams, and it will rob us of our future if we allow it to. The lack of wisdom also causes us to live with regret. I'm looking at what he said. If you put off until tomorrow the work you could do today, tomorrow never seems to come. And then we regret that we wasted the time, right? Because now we can't catch up. When we have that a lack of wisdom, opportunities pass us by. How many opportunities did he have to get this all cleaned up, sorted up, and be able to move forward? The lack of wisdom causes us not to live an optimal life, right? We're supposed to be living a life that is fruitful and in abundance. But when we lack wisdom, we do not live an optimal life, because we are wasting time. We are being robbed of hope. We are being robbed of dreams. We are being robbed of our future. We are living with regret, and we are just living a life of folly when we do not follow wisdom. So, what does a life governed by wisdom look like? I am so glad you asked. And the answer is here in James 3, 13 through 18. It says, do you want to be counted wise, to build a reputation for wisdom? Here's what you do: live well, live wisely, live humbly. Live well, live wisely, live humbly. It's the way you live, not the way you talk, that counts. Mean spirited ambition isn't wisdom. Boasting that you are wise isn't wisdom. Truth, twisting the truth to make yourself sound wise isn't wisdom. It's the furthest thing from wisdom. It's animal cunning, devilish plotting. It's animal cunning, devilish plotting. Whenever you're trying to look better than others or get the better of others, things fall apart and everyone ends up at each other's throat. Oh, that sounds like folly. But real wisdom, when our lives are governed by real wisdom, God's wisdom begins with a holy life and is characterized by getting along with others. It is gentle and reasonable, overflowing with mercy and blessings, not hot one day and cold the next, not two-faced. You can develop a healthy, robust community that lives right with God and enjoy its results only if you do the hard work of getting along with each other, treating each other with dignity and honor. That is the result, y'all, of wisdom. It's the result of a life governed by wisdom. Gentle and reasonable, overflowing with mercy and blessings, not two-faced. That's a life of wisdom. And I want to admonish you to ask for wisdom, even in the smallest things in your life, right? Ask God for wisdom in the smallest things. In the smallest things. Why? Because wisdom can preserve us. Wisdom can preserve our lives. Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. For knowledge is a defense, and money is a defense, but wisdom excels in that it gives life to those that have it. Another version says, wisdom preserves your life. Money is great. We all need it. Knowledge is great. We all need it, but wisdom preserves us. Wisdom gives life, right? We are aiming to have a life of wisdom and wealth, right? Wisdom and wealth. And that comes as we ask the Lord for wisdom in our homes, in our careers, in our marriages, in our jobs, in our relationships, in our finances, right? In every area, as we ask God for wisdom, we will begin to see the overflow of blessings in our life. Not just asking Him for wisdom, but being obedient to the wisdom that He gives us, right? And so as we close out this year, I know some of us are, in 90-day challenges or they want to close out the year strong. Let's do it with wisdom. Sometimes the wisdom of the Lord says to rest. How about sometimes wisdom is just to go to sleep? That's wisdom. Come on, we can't do this hustle thing all the time. We have to stop and we have to rest. That is wisdom. So I want you to pray for the gift of wisdom, not just the gift of healing, not just the gift of tongues, right? We want to pray for the gift of wisdom. We want to pray for the gift of wisdom, the wisdom of the Lord as we go throughout the rest of this year. So this is your morning reset this morning. Pray for the gift of wisdom. operate in the gift of wisdom. We're not going to be out here being foolish, living in folly, but we are praying for the gift of wisdom so that we can excel in every area. Everything that we put our hands to will succeed when we have the gift of wisdom and when we are relying on the ultimate, ultimate gift of wisdom, the most wise. When we rely on God, we are putting him in his place. He is the most wise. And so we're asking him for wisdom and guidance and understanding as we go throughout these next 90 days of this year. So that has been your morning reset today. I pray that you have a blessed day and don't forget to pursue the gift of wisdom. Have a blessed day. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.